Some stories don't end when someone dies. They linger, they haunt, they follow the ones left behind like a shadow they can't shake. This is one of those stories. Whitney Houston, Ray J. Two names that shouldn't have been connected, but are. Forever, she was royalty, a voice that could move nations, an icon who defined an entire generation of music. He was Brandy's little brother, a reality TV figure, a man the world knew more for scandal than substance, and yet their lives collided in a way that would change everything, especially for him, because when Whitney died, something inside Ray J broke, and more than a decade later, it's still broken. This isn't just a story about a relationship, it's about what happens when trauma, fame, and guilt become impossible to separate. It's about a man who's been running from something, or someone, for over 10 years, and it's about the questions that still don't have answers. Ray J didn't come out of nowhere. By the time he met Whitney, he'd already carved out his own lane in entertainment. Music, acting, a few hit songs, a lot of gossip. But let's be real, most people knew him for two things, being Brandy's brother and that tape. Brandy, on the other hand, was a household name, and she had history with Whitney. Back in 1997, they starred together in a televised adaptation of Cinderella. Whitney played the fairy godmother. Brandy was the lead. It was magical, iconic, a cultural moment. So when Ray J and Whitney's paths crossed years later, it wasn't totally random. There was already a thread connecting them. By 2007, Whitney's life had changed dramatically. Her marriage to Bobby Brown, turbulent, tabloid-heavy, exhausting, was finally over. She was trying to rebuild, to reclaim herself, to figure out who she was outside of all the chaos. And somewhere in that process, Ray J entered the picture. It started quietly. In 2008, paparazzi caught them having dinner together in Beverly Hills. Then they showed up at a boxing match in Las Vegas. At first, people didn't think much of it. Maybe they were just friends. Maybe it was nothing. But the sightings kept coming. By 2010, the rumors were impossible to ignore. Reports surfaced that they were dating, on and off, in secret, always just out of view. And the public had questions. Whitney was nearly 20 years older than Ray J. She was a legend. He was. Complicated. Was it real? Was it love? Or was it something else? Some people saw it as a comeback romance, a private love story between two people trying to find peace. Others saw it differently. They questioned his motives. They wondered if he was using her, chasing clout, playing a role. And Ray J? He stayed vague, defensive, cryptic. November 2010. Atlanta. They had dinner together, out in the open. This time, it felt like confirmation. The media ran with it. Reports claimed Ray J had postponed a tour just to be with her. But when the headlines started flying, Ray J took to Twitter. She's a great friend, he wrote. Nothing more, a great friend. That's what he called her, publicly at least. But if you look closely at his behavior during this time, the truth feels more complicated, more conflicted. Because even when he denied it, he didn't really deny it. He just deflected. Then came the fight. Not a boxing match this time, an actual fight. September 2011, Las Vegas. Floyd Mayweather was in the ring, and Ray J was in the crowd. After the match, he went to a party hosted by Diddy, and that's where things got messy. He got into a physical altercation with rapper Fabulous. Punches were thrown, security got involved, Ray J was arrested. When he got out, he called into a radio show. And what followed was bizarre. He went on a rant, rambling, emotional, chaotic. It went viral for all the wrong reasons. Looking back now, it's hard not to wonder, was this just a bad night, or was this a man already unraveling?
This is more a war on drugs than a war between Ray J and me. You know what I'm saying? This nigga's high and coked up or on pills and...
A chilling comment in hindsight, it now reads less like a diss and more like a foreshadowing of the spiral that was yet to come.
February 9th, 2012, Ray J and Whitney attended a pre-Grammy party together. It was hosted by singer Kelly Price. The night seemed fine at first. Music, drinks, old friends. But then something happened. A former X Factor contestant named Stacey Francis was there. She performed. She mingled. And at some point, she talked to Ray. J. Whitney saw it, and she didn't like it. Reports say she became upset, angry even. There was tension, a scene, but it was diffused. The night moved on. 2 days later, Whitney Houston was dead. She was found in the bathtub of her hotel suite at the Beverly Hilton, unresponsive, submerged, gone. The official cause of death, accidental drowning. Substances were found in her system. Heart disease was listed as a contributing factor, but the details didn't matter to the people who loved her. All they knew was that she was gone. And Ray J, he wasn't there when it happened, but he tried to be. When Ray J heard the news, he rushed to the hotel, but he couldn't get in. Law enforcement blocked him at the door. Reports say he stood outside, desperate, frantic, trying to understand. And then, according to some accounts, he overheard something he was never supposed to hear. Police officers inside the room making jokes, disrespectful remarks about Whitney's body. Whether that's true or not, we may never know for sure. But Ray J has said it happened. And if it did, imagine what that does to a person. That same night, Clive Davis, Whitney's longtime mentor, was hosting a pre-Grammy party downstairs in the same hotel. It had been planned for weeks, a celebration. But now, it was something else entirely. Clive made the decision to continue the event, to turn it into a tribute, and Ray J went. Eyewitnesses said he was a wreck, crying, barely holding it together. Some people judged him for being there at all. How could he go to a party the same night she died? But maybe he didn't know where else to go. Maybe he just needed to be around people who understood. Or maybe he was already too deep in shock to make sense of anything. Grief is complicated, but when someone dies suddenly, unexpectedly, it hits differently. Psychologists call it complicated grief. It shares symptoms with PTSD, disrupted sleep, loss of appetite, emotional instability, intrusive thoughts, and guilt. So much guilt. Guilt over what you did, what you didn't do, what you said, what you never got to say. Now add public scrutiny to that. Cameras, headlines, accusations. Ray J wasn't just grieving privately, he was grieving in front of the world, and the world wasn't kind. Bobby Brown's sister, Leola, went public with a claim. She suggested that Ray J had played a dark role in Whitney's final moments. She didn't provide evidence, but the accusation was out there. Ray J's team called it defamatory. They denied everything, but the damage was done. Once something like that is said, it sticks. It lingers. And for someone already drowning in guilt, it must have felt unbearable. A month after Whitney's death, Ray J spoke publicly. "I really miss my friend," he said. His voice was soft, broken. You could see the guilt in his eyes, the weight of it. Studies show that guilt after losing a loved one increases the risk of depression, substance abuse, emotional collapse. Ray J was showing all the signs. May 2012. Ray J traveled to China briefly. Then he flew to Las Vegas for the Billboard Music Awards. Whitney's family was there too, and somehow Ray J ended up seated near them. Reports claimed they were furious, that they wanted him removed, even arrested. The family later denied those claims, but the tension was real. After the event, Ray J returned to his hotel room, and that's where things took a darker turn. He was found unresponsive. Paramedics were called. He was rushed to the hospital. His team said it was exhaustion, jet lag, but people wondered, was it really just exhaustion, or was it something more? By the end of 2012, Ray J's public image started to change. He began posting about God, attending church, sharing religious messages. "God is working through me," he said. "Everybody's under construction." It felt sudden, maybe even performative, but maybe it was real. Maybe he was trying to find a way out of the darkness, or maybe he was trying to convince himself and everyone else that he was okay. 5 years after Whitney's death, Ray J appeared on Celebrity Big Brother, and during his time in the house, something cracked. He opened up. He admitted that people had offered him money to talk about Whitney. To tell his side of the story, he refused. "It would bring bad karma," he said. Then he said something even more revealing. "I'm haunted by it. Not sad, not nostalgic. Haunted." That's the word he used, and you could tell he meant it. The suite where Whitney died became infamous. For a while, the Beverly Hilton removed it from their available inventory. Too much public interest, too many people wanting to see it. Eventually, they refurbished it, removed all the original furniture, changed everything. Then they reopened it to guests, as if nothing had ever happened. But for Ray J, there was no refurbishing his memory. No way to change what he saw, what he felt, what he lost. Fast forward to 2024, Ray J sat down with Pastor Jamal Bryant for an interview, and what he said was stunning. He described his public image as a character, a performance. Then he admitted, "I'm a liar." He talked about a trip to Cancun, a moment when he climbed onto a hotel roof and stood there, thinking about jumping. His first suicide attempt, he said. Before the interview even aired, Ray J called the pastor, threatened him, told him not to release it. Then he apologized. The episode aired anyway, and the world got a glimpse of just how fractured Ray J really was. What Ray J described is called self-alienation. It's when you split yourself into two, the person you really are and the person you perform, as psychologists call it, ego splitting. It's a defense mechanism, a way to survive trauma, fame, or unbearable pressure. But it comes at a cost, because eventually you forget which one is real. And when you call yourself a liar over and over again, you start to internalize it. You start to believe you're nothing but the mask. That's shame. Deep, suffocating shame. And it doesn't just go away. We still don't know the full truth about Ray J and Whitney's relationship. Were they in love? Were they just friends? Was it complicated? Probably all of the above. But what's clear is this: whatever they were, losing her destroyed him, and he never fully recovered. Psychologists talk about attachment trauma, the way unresolved grief can poison every relationship that comes after. Ray J's marriage to Princess Love has been volatile. On again, off again. Chaotic. Maybe it's coincidence, or maybe it's a pattern. Late 2024, Ray J claimed someone was targeting him. His car was vandalized. Whether it was real or paranoia, it added to the instability. Then, in March 2025, during a Twitch stream, he revealed something even darker. He said he was abused by a babysitter as a child. Childhood trauma. Adult grief. Fame, guilt, all of it tangled together, pulling him under. His family started to worry, publicly. During a stream with Kai Cenat, Ray J's behavior was so erratic that Brandy texted him, "Come on, Ray, you're so much better than this." And he responded emotionally. He said he felt alone, misunderstood, like no one really saw him. What really happened between Ray J and Whitney Houston? We'll probably never know, but does it even matter anymore? Because the real story isn't about what happened in that hotel, or what they were to each other. The real story is what came after. It's about a man who's been carrying something for over a decade. something heavy, something he can't put down. And it's about the way trauma doesn't care about fame or money or public image. It just sits there, waiting. Whitney's legacy is secure. She's remembered as one of the greatest voices of all time. A legend, an icon. Ray J's legacy is murkier. He's known for scandal, for reality TV, for being connected to Whitney in a way that still feels unresolved. But maybe that's not fair. Maybe he's also a cautionary tale, a reminder of what unprocessed grief can do to a person. Maybe he's someone who loved someone or tried to and lost them in the worst way possible. And maybe he's been drowning ever since. Some stories don't have clean endings. They don't tie up neatly. They don't make sense. This is one of those stories. Ray J and Whitney Houston. 2 lives, 1 tragedy, and a decade of questions that still don't have answers. Maybe they never will. But one thing is certain, their names are intertwined now, forever. And for Ray J, that connection isn't just history. It's a weight he carries every single day, whether he wanted it or not.